गुड मॉर्निंग सर, गुड आफ्टरनून सर। आज नहीं आ पाऊंगा सर, घर ढूंढ रहा हूँ ना सर।
कसम से अब घर बैठे घर ढूंढो magicbricks.com।
Beauty is fragile. Introducing new Zero Damage System with 1/4 moisturizing milk. It repairs and protects hair from damage. For beautiful hair, new Dove Zero Damage.
The foodie this time is in a very significant place in Tamil Nadu, a place that is synonymous with the cuisine. Well, we are in Chettinad. We are about to start making the Chettinad chicken.
The Foodie at these times only on Times Now Weekend.
Brought to you by Citibank Business Banking Solutions. Citi, let's get it done. अब कीजिए 500 कैलोरीज कम हर रोज। VLCC, आप में है जादू।
ये बिंगो सुपर कॉम्बिनेशन बना था, जैसे ये लार्ड मिर्च और पोटैटो चिप्स का कॉम्बिनेशन हमने भी बनाया। आर्मी और फायर इंजन का कॉम्बिनेशन, तब से फायर जहां 101 वहां। हाँ, मेरा कॉम्बिनेशन तो नहीं चला, लेकिन ITC का बिंगो हमेशा परफेक्ट।
बिंगो, नो कंफ्यूजन, ग्रेट कॉम्बिनेशन। आइए मिलते हैं बोखाड़िया परिवार से, जो कई सालों से घर से बाहर ही नहीं निकले। ये हम सब की तरह पिक्चर देखते हैं, रेस्टोरेंट में खाते हैं और छुट्टियां भी मनाते हैं। वो क्या है ना कि जब से घर में आर्किड फ्लाई आ गया, जो घर को रखे सुंदर और सुरक्षित, उनका घर बन गया उनकी दुनिया।
Making homeowners proud since 1976. Arcade Fly.
Excuse number 60 to fly with India Times Travel.
Gonna get a haircut, ma.
Excuse number 61.
25% cash back on all domestic tickets booked on Citibank credit cards. India Times Travel.
This man is being labelled a terrorist before the trial is over. And in your opinion, is this an infringement of human rights?
How will you, Mr. Foreign Minister, tackle this situation now?
We do not want to interfere with the legal system of Australia.
To say that the NDA has weakened, I don't agree with you.
Ultimately, it is I who have to give the clean chit whether he's clean or not.
The News Hour. Weeknights at 9, only on Times Now.
In the life of a human being is considered a really long time, because that's more than 2/3 of our life gone. But in the life of a nation, 60 years is merely a speck in the annals of time. Our triumphs have been many in the last 60 years, but some of the most dramatic milestone moments occurred in the last 3 decades.
Asia Games held in 1982 brought along the concept of color TV in India.
In 1983, the whole nation celebrated. A situation where West Indies had literally won the cup, India came back and won it. And I think the entire nation celebrated this victory.
Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian in space, and after he reached there, he had said, "Sare jahan se acha Hindustan hamara."
What all can we achieve if we make a resolution to do so? Well, let's see now. How about launching our own satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3? Going to space? bringing colour TV to India and winning the Cricket World Cup, just to name a few. Believe it or not, we have achieved all this and much more, and that too just in the last 3 decades.
India's first foray as a space power ready to join the ranks of the biggies began way back in 1975 when we launched the first Indian artificial satellite, Aryabhat. But the real moment of glory came 5 years later on 18 July 1980 with SLV-3, our first homegrown and indigenously designed satellite launcher. With this milestone move, in a single historic moment, we changed our image of a land of bullock carts and snake charmers in an instant. Made in India was suddenly an acceptable mantra, as this set the tone for many more indigenous achievements in space research and satellite technology. And as every school-going child knows by now, former President APJ Abdul Kalam was the team leader of that operation.
In 25 years, what we have achieved in the space technology is what others would have done taking more than 40 years. So that way we are proud that Indian space program has really caught up with the other nations. Aryabhata and SLV-3 if we take, they were only sort of a stepping stone. We have now operational programs which helps the country's development program, whether it is for the drinking water mission, the agricultural development, the wasteland reclamation.
The 80s were an exciting period for India, not only in space but other spheres as well. The big milestone that changed the face of Indian television came in 1982. When the Asiad Games came to New Delhi, not only did the city get a new look, so did Indian television. I still remember the first time my family got its colour television. It was an exciting moment for all of us. Though it meant curtain calls for the black and white era, it also meant that we saw everything in brand new Technicolor.
और साथ-साथ दूरदर्शन टीवी का उपकार है.
Overnight, Doordarshan got a facelift with this one defining moment. Veteran newscaster Salma Sultan recalls that moment.
I think the transition from black and white to color was very exciting. But there were many pitfalls also, because we were used to black and white. Our dress sense was according to the black and white, the makeup and everything. So everything had to change. There were so many disappointments, but gradually, naturally, our technicians and engineers and, we all got used to the new technique, and then color was very beautiful.
The first 40 years of independence gave us just 3 cars: Fiat, Ambassador and Standard Herald. And every few years, they just change one rubber tire here and one keyhole there, and we'd say, wow, what a fantastic new model. The next 20 years, I think, has given us about a good 40 cars. And the car that changed all that is Maruti 800. It was fuel efficient, it was cost effective, it was smart, it was a people's car. Well, it was my first car too.
The ubiquitous Maruti 800 was launched on 14th December 1983, marking the beginning of an automobile revolution in India. A car was no longer the symbol of wealth, but it became a mnemonic for aspiration instead. The Indian middle class was rising like never before, and the people's car was just what they wanted. For Maruti Suzuki, the first enduring Indo-Japanese collaboration of that scale, it was also a case of being in the right place at the very right time. So there's just no stopping us once we get going. It's a fact that's been proven over and over again. And one of the best examples is the so very famous and celebrated 1983 World Cup cricket victory. All the odds were against us. We lost the toss and had to bat first. The batting order collapsed completely, except for Mohinder Amarnath, who did wonders that day, and the never say die, Krish Shrikant.
One thing that I remember, was in the finals. When we got out for 183, and you were sitting in the dressing room, Kapil came up with a beautiful statement which really pepped us up. He said, it's not a winning total, it's a fighting total. So let's go and fight.
And that's out. Yes, it's all. And since that is our only World Cup victory till date, we're allowed to celebrate it as often as we like and get sentimental over it.
As kids, we all wanted to go to the moon, but at least one Indian was destined to go over it, or at least very close to it. History was created by cosmonaut Rakesh Sharma in April 1984, when he became the first Indian to go to space. 23 years later, this is one defining event in Indian history that we still continue to be over the moon about.
The most unusual part of the experience is the fact that one was under conditions of zero gravity all the while, and all our time was spent doing something. So we really didn't have time to just sit and gawk through the window and enjoy the scenes.
भारत के नागरिक होने के नाते आपको धन्यवाद देता हूं और मेरे crew members भी.
And every Indian will still recall this immortal moment.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको?
जी मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूं कि सारे जहां से अच्छा.
Well, now back to Earth. 1984 saw another first on Indian television, India's first soap opera. It was about, well, people like us. They spoke the middle-class India language. Their concerns were ours. No gloss, not much technique. They were a bunch of people, well, we could have called family. I think they set the benchmark for all television serials, including the ones we watch today. Hum Log still has a very special place in my heart.
Today, Basesa Ram, Lallu, Badki, Majli, Chutki, Nanhe and Dadima are remembered with the same affection that you remember long-lost friends. When these characters went off-air after Hum Log ended in 1985, completing 54 eventful episodes, there was a collective sense of loss. Indian television's first soap stars Vinod Nagpal and Abhinav Chaturvedi, who essayed the father-son duo of Basesa Ram and Nanhe, recalled some of those evergreen moments.
Today they still call me Basesa. I don't mind. Also, you know, in one of the incidents when we had this awards function in Talkatura Indoor Stadium, and I remember that we had a full-fledged film industry, representation, and in walks the Hum Log team of 5-6 members, led by Dada Muni, Vinodji, Sushmaji, Rajesh Puri, our Dadaji, Larry Singh ji, and me. And suddenly the whole, the stadium just goes up, electrified.
In the 90s, India was introduced to cable TV.
This show brought to you by Aditya Birla Group, Best Employer in India, 2007. Beach from Liberty Whitewear, fine bathroom products and accessories. Live tension-free. Live life cool K with Aviva Life Insurance. Kalpar Control.
Violet. What do I call this color? Papa.
Dweezil?
With so many colors on the Videocon LCD, you will have to invent new names for them. Videocon Integra LCDs, a new language of colors.
41 without a wicket.
सुनाई नहीं देता क्या? कब से फोन बज रहा है? बाबूजी का फोन.
BSNL लैंडलाइन पर क्लिप फोन सुविधा बिल्कुल मुफ्त. अब पहचानिए बात करने से पहले कॉल करने वाले को. BSNL बेस्ट है मेरे लिए.
It is difficult to believe
one man spent his life saving over 60,000 of them. It is difficult to believe they were under the shadow of death. It's difficult to believe these people once had leprosy. Baba Amde, 93 years in the service of humanity.
हेलो गुड मॉर्निंग सर, गुड आफ्टरनून सर। आज नहीं आ पाऊंगा सर, घर ढूंढ रहा हूँ ना सर।
कसम से अब घर बैठे घर ढूंढो magicbricks.com।
Never know who's watching. Never know who's watching your lips today. Just come home and watch it. Watching your lips today.
Who's watching your lips today? New Enrich Lip Color from Lakme.
Punjab police entered Geo office. They smashed this main glass door and entered with sticks and started beating reporters and staff around.
ये रबड़ की गोलियां फायर की, ये आंसू गैस का शेल है, ये इन्होंने हमारे ऑफिस के अंदर फायर किया।
Looking at how our country has progressed in the last 60 years, it's difficult to picture that we have suffered nearly a century of imperial rule. In fact, some of the most gigantic steps that changed the face of our nation took place only in the last decade. Unbelievable? Well, it's true, as we shall see in this part of our show.
The economic liberalization started in the year 1991 and this put a stop to bankruptcy.
Sushmita Sen, whom we were very proud of since she's the youngest person to ever win the Miss Universe title.
Z Channel had brought out the first satellite television in 1992.
The 1991 economic liberalization program was aimed at transforming India into a participatory democracy with a strong emphasis on economic independence. Since then, India hasn't been the same.
But things were far from hunky-dory just a few years ago. Can ordinary Indians believe that India was seriously on the brink of bankruptcy in 1991 and that liberalization was the only way forward? When the then Prime Minister Narasimha Rao invited economist Dr. Manmohan Singh to reform the stagnant economy, little did he know that Dr. Singh would end up reforming India itself. We asked one of the top honchos of India Inc., Adi Godrej, to take us through some of the high points.
I think it's a huge watershed. After decades of socialism, which failed, command control system, we let Indian enterprise free beginning 91. And now we are confident that the next 2 or 3 decades, it's possible to make India a developed nation. I think getting rid of industrial licensing, making import-export trade much more open, mainly on open general license, and reduction of various tax rates. I think these are the 3 defining features.
Looking back, it's easy to see how the last 2 decades have had such a huge impact on our lives. Satellite television, for example. In the 90s, India was introduced to cable TV. I remember how excited I was to get my first cable connection. Little did I know about the change it would bring about in my lifestyle, in my mindset, and open up a whole new world, bang, right inside my home.
India was rapidly changing in the 90s after the policy shifts, and the most visible face heralding this change was the omnipresent satellite television, by then a welcome presence in millions of households.
Entertainment on the state-run government channel Doordarshan looked like this.
मैं दूरदर्शन हूँ।
आज यहाँ से सीधा प्रसारण आपके लिए करेंगे। प्रिय प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी सलामी मंच के पास पहुँच चुकी हैं।
Simple programs reflecting a simpler time.
एक बारी तो पुकारो ना, लाजू।
But all that got a 360-degree makeover after foreign broadcasters like CNN and Star TV, hungry for a piece of the new, economically freer Indian market, made their foray into India. And when Zee launched its entertainment channel in 1993, the face of entertainment programming in India changed completely. As the remote ruled the roost, channel surfing became the new mantra.
There was no rocket science on that. When we started, it was only Doordarshan, which was giving some entertainment to the people in the evening time. And we gave a little bit better than that. And it caught the imagination of the people.
And who knew that around 10 years later, entertainment on our satellite channels would become all froth and bubble, signifying little that is real. Anyway, we may have left reality way behind on our television soaps, but at least the viewer is now spoiled for choice.
While winning the Miss India pageant in 2002 completely changed my life. It was obviously a dream come true. This whole trend of beauty, glamour actually started in 1994 when Sushmita Sen and Aishwarya Rai won their international pageants of Miss Universe and Miss World. Well, they were definitely my inspiration and the inspiration of so many more girls who want to be a part of the glamour industry. So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate that winning moment once again.
All of us remember watching this double whammy in 1994.
Miss India, the new Miss Universe 1994!
When Sushmita Sen was crowned Miss Universe and later Aishwarya Rai Miss World in the same year. Well, what can we say? Since then, life has been beautiful.
In spite of fighting in one of history's most treacherous battlegrounds, they still did India proud.
This show brought to you by Axis Bank. UTI Bank is now Axis Bank. Videocon, new improved life.
Of sound. Experience it on the Videocon Sound Station 29.
हेलो पापा।
हाँ बेटा।
पहले आंखें बंद करो।
हाँ।
कुछ बंधन अटूट होते हैं, जैसे एयरटेल का नेटवर्क।
हेलो, गुड मॉर्निंग सर, गुड आफ्टरनून सर। आज नहीं आ पाऊंगा सर, घर ढूंढ रहा हूँ ना सर।
कसम से अब घर बैठे घर ढूंढो magicbricks.com।
ये बिंगो सुपर कॉम्बिनेशन बना था, जैसे ये लाउंड मिर्च और पोटैटो चिप्स का कॉम्बिनेशन हमने भी बनाया। आर्मी और फायर इंजन का कॉम्बिनेशन, तब से फायर जहां 101 वहां। हाँ, मेरा कॉम्बिनेशन तो नहीं चला, लेकिन आईटीसी का बिंगो हमेशा परफेक्ट। बिंगो नो कंफ्यूजन, ग्रेट कॉम्बिनेशन।
सुनाई नहीं देता क्या? कब से फोन बज रहा है? बाबूजी का फोन।
BSNL लैंडलाइन पर क्लिप फोन सुविधा बिल्कुल मुफ्त। अब पहचानिए बात करने से पहले कॉल करने वाले को। BSNL बेस्ट है मेरे लिए।
Festivals mean sweets, and sweets mean sugar. If you're diabetic, keep a watch. Ask for Sugar Scam from ThyroCare, world's largest thyroid testing laboratory.
India is rising, surging ahead with newfound vigor thanks to a booming economy and a verve that cannot help but fill every Indian's heart with genuine pride.
Kargil War is the defining moment of the Indian history. My generation has seen this war, and so I feel it is very important, it is very essential for a country to have its defences.
I think right to information is very important for the people of this country. This enables us to know all kinds of information.
The multiplex, you can call it as a developed theatre. It's so big and so many more people come and you can watch so many movies at one time.
One question, can you imagine shopping without malls or movies without multiplexes? I can't. But that's how life was 7 years ago. Until in 1999 when the first mega shopping mall opened its doors in Mumbai. And multiplexes of course redefined entertainment for film buffs like myself.
The new millennium came with major turning points for India, including drastically reinventing the way we spend our leisure. Crossroad, the first spanking new mall, opened in 1999 in Mumbai, but this was just a precursor to how entertainment would look 5 years down the line. Shravan Shroff, the young entrepreneur from Shringar Films who promoted the multiplex revolution amongst the urban youth, tells us how it all started and its impact on our daily life.
Multiplexes have radically changed the way we view films in India. People earlier didn't have an avenue to go where they wanted to go and see good movies in a nice and pleasurable atmosphere. Today what we've seen is that people that weren't going to the theatres earlier have started going. The art house cinema movement has happened. People are making new types of movies, new categories of movies, all just because of the fact that the right environment to screen these movies exists.
July 26, 1999 will be a day that will be etched in our minds forever. That's the day when our soldiers won the Kargil War. In spite of fighting in one of history's most treacherous battlegrounds and questions raised as to whether or not our soldiers were adequately prepared, they once again did India proud.
When the Indian military juggernaut is in action, there is just no stopping it. On 26 July 1999, we declare that Operation Vijay, our fourth war with Pakistan, was an absolute success. Pakistan's aggressive initiative in Kargil, taking advantage of the adverse terrain and climatic conditions, ended after nearly a month-long battle. The first step towards this victory was when we reclaimed Tiger Hill on 4th July 1999. The 5,062-meter-high Tiger Hill became a symbol of Operation Vijay, a battle won at some cost, but our national pride and honour remained completely intact.
We've all moaned and groaned about the current state of our nation every now and then. I'm no different. The traffic, the corrupt cop on the road, waterlogging in every monsoon, these are things that affect all of us. But now, there is a tool with which we can make changes to these things that bother us rather than just sit back and complain about them. I'm talking about citizen empowerment. I'm talking about the Right to Information Act, an act which has helped scores of Indians to clean up public life.
So just what is the Right to Information Act? It's a simple but very powerful tool which enables the common man the right to ask for any information he may want from any public authority. And not just that, the information you may seek is guaranteed by law to be provided to the applicant within 30 days of asking for it. Ashok Pai, a pharmaceutical publisher, used this act effectively to change his life. He was ecstatic when he purchased his dream home in a Mumbai suburb in 2002. But to his dismay, this dream soon turned into a nightmare.
When I purchased a flat in this building, Riddhi Siddhi Ratna, in 2002, I had not transferred my flat in my name. So the society started charging me non-occupancy charges. That is double the maintenance, which is illegal.
Ashok tried all means. He wrote letters to the committee and to the deputy registrar of all housing societies. When nothing else worked, he discovered the Right to Information Act in 2005.
The deputy registrar himself came over here, this society. 2-3 years he was not replying, but for the RTI he came over here. And after finding that irregularities, mismanagement in the society, to complete dissolve the managing committee. Through RTI, I just spent only 10 rupees court fee and it worked. So this is the best boon for every citizen.
The Right to Information Act has revolutionized citizen rights and the government's accountability to us.
We don't need any political pundit to prophesize which way the new India will head. Our own gut feeling is telling us this one simple fact. The only way India can now go is up, up and away. It's no longer a question of whether India is going to become a superpower, but only a question of how soon that will happen. A nation's destiny is changing. And so is the destiny of every Indian along with it. Let's make it happen.
Left hits back, says nuclear deal is unacceptable to a majority in parliament, while the Prime Minister in an interview dares the left to withdraw support.